up Heat 7. We're going to see Dave Winchester in red, Michael Novy in white, Jorge Colomer in yellow, and Milton Montalvo in black. Jeff, thanks for joining me here in the booth, and good luck in the upcoming rounds.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we'll get you back to the one and only Manny Vargas. We love him. You guys missed him. He's back.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, and joining me here in the booth, Manny Vargas, the man with the plan, is back.
Two things I missed. One is being able to sit in the hot seat with the one and only Jeff Hubbard. And two, I missed Mitch Rollins' 10-point ride. Damn it.
That was one heck of a heat. Mitch Rollins, Mark McCarthy on it. We saw 7.85 and 10.0 from Mitch Rollins. Mark McCarthy, 6.5 and an 8.3. Those guys going big. Meanwhile, Jake Stone struggling. He had one good wave at the beginning of the heat, and then 4.75 as a follow-up. Other than that, a lot of throwaway scores.
All right, well, after I heard that Mitch Rollins got a 10-point ride, I watched the remaining of that heat and seeing the back-to-back carving air reverses of Mark McCarthy and Mitch Rollins was insane. Let's take a look at one of the clips. All right, this was, Mitch Rollins' last wave. Amazing. This was right after Mark McCarthy doing a smaller version of this, and Mitch Rollins just fires back. I saw this live, and it was amazing to watch. The crowd on the beach absolutely went going crazy. Not only did he land it, he was able to set a rail and come around the section and go for another move to finish off that wave. Again, we talked about it. Mitch Rollins has matured. You are looking at the new Mitch Rollins. Big wave charger. He will never stop doing that.
And now, that was only a 7.85, Manny. That wasn't even a 10 and a 7.85 in that heat. You know, he's showing a level of maturity.
I missed it.
He's showing a level of maturity that he hasn't shown in previous years.
Look at this. Right off the bat, the Puerto Rican Milton Montalvo in the black jersey. You're going to see another Puerto Rican in this heat. George Colomer in yellow, Michael Novy in white, and Dave Winchester in red.
Yes, this is going to be yet another interesting heat here in round one. Milton Montalvo gets on the board first with a .75. Obviously, that will end up being a throwaway score. But the touchback on Mitch Rollins, he comes into this event sitting fourth on the global qualifying series. It seems like he's pretty much locked up his spot on the 2012 Grand Slam series. Not only is he a threat here in this competition, but I think he's going to be a serious title contender for all of 2012.
Yeah, he got a kickstart in midway through the tour, and now he's coming out full charge. He is pumped. Dave Winchester, he's up in contention for a world title as well. He's in the. If you've been to our website, the IBAWorldTour.com, and follow the news section and click over to the title of the title is Contenders. Click on that, and that'll give you a breakdown on the complexity of what is going on in the water and at this event. Dave Winchester, he is sorted out in Group B. If you're looking and following along, Dave Winchester still has a chance. Up and riding, speak of the devil, Dave Winchester.
Dave Winchester in red. Nice invert. Lands back in the pocket, resets his line, punches through the roll on the end section. That's going to be a really solid score to open things up for Dave Winchester in this heat.
Less than 2 minutes into the heat. That's what you want to do. You want to get that one solid wave, get that foundation, and take your time. Mentally, it helps. Also, you can save a little bit of energy while you wait for that next solid wave. Again, 30-minute heats, top two waves are scored, and that's what you want. You want the highest two scoring waves.
Yes, so Winchester coming out here. Winnie just looking to start things off with an exclamation point. Meanwhile, Jorge Colomer, the local, up and riding. A nice little invert of his own on this left, and still going along, looking for something to connect on the inside. Gets a roll added on. A little icing on the cake, so to speak. And there you go. We've got 3 of our 4 riders with waves under their belts. We're just waiting for Michael Novy to get on the board.
All right, so Novy waiting patiently. And we are coming close to the end of our live broadcast today. Heat 7 out in the water. Check out this replay. Dave Winchester.
Here you see Dave Winchester driving down the line, getting speed. Nice extension, nice projection. Lands back in the pocket clean, solid. Resets his line, and boom, punches through the lip for roll off the end section. Nice big opening maneuver, solid closing maneuver.
The judges like that one.
And they gave him a 9.25 for that last wave.
Unbelievable.
And then to follow that up, Jorge Colomer with a 7.35 on his wave. So a nice wave exchange there to get things going.
Well, George Colomer, he's doing what what the locals are doing is if you're going to catch it left, he's going to ride that thing all the way in, and he's going to be really close to the rocks. And if you're close to the rocks, you're going to be able to paddle out with less duck diving, and more energy is being saved. So strategy in favor for George Colomer as far as going left. Up and riding, Milton Montalvo.
Milton Montalvo in the black jersey, one of the Puerto Rican trialists. Up and riding, big air roll spin, comes around, almost digs his nose on the landing. He'll finish pulling it around and kick out for the next one. Little difficulty on the landing, but a nice big maneuver nonetheless.
All right, we just got some shirts handed to us from one of our sponsors, and thank you very much. I don't know if we got that on screen, but thank you. Calici. This is Calici, so if you guys want to pick up one of these, check out calici.com. Okay, calici.com, and pick yourself one of these I Love the Morning. Calici.com. So check it out. Thank you for the T-shirts. We appreciate it. And that's the beauty of this gig. We get a lot of free goodies.
And I have to agree, I love the morning ride here in Puerto Rico.
Me too.
Since we've gotten here, I've been out in the water like crazy. Days we have to work and be here, I'm out in the water at 5:30 before the sun's even up.
Check this out. We have a little break in the action. We have the winner of the last heat, Mitch Rollins and Shaggy. Shaggy, where are you at?
Thanks, guys. I'm down here with Mitch Rawlins, the receiver of a 10-point ride. That was incredible, Mitch. Do you want to talk us through that straight away?
Yeah, it was a nice little wedge come through, and the section popped up pretty good. This wave offers so much potential. Like, you get the right one, and that was an average wave, but you can do pretty good moves on them, But if you get a really good one, you can do some incredible stuff, some of the heats that will go down in this contest, I think, are going to be the best we've ever seen, for sure.
For sure. It kind of has like a D-bar rampiness to it, hey?
Yeah, kind of D-bar on steroids. It's a lot of power. You get caught inside, about it, but I guess it's more like a little bit off the wall, but with kind of like a mandrel wedge style to it. It's got a lot of power, and geez, man, it's so fun. You just want to keep going, getting those good ones.
It's just a pure bodyboarding wave. Oh, would you like to say anything back to your friends in Australia?
Yeah, I guess hello. I hope you're all watching. I know it's pretty late there, but say hi to my girlfriend Gabby and my mum and dad. I'm sure they'll be probably watching. And I'm stoked. Hope you guys keep watching because there's going to be some good heats coming up.
Cool, thanks, Mitch. Back to you guys.
All right, solid interview again from the man himself, Mitch Rollins, and Shaggy doing a great job down there hunting down all the guys. Because when they come out of the water, they get hounded by, fans getting photos, and, it's hard to get those guys into the interview mode, but he did a great job, Shaggy. George Colomer in the yellow jersey, out in the water, cannot pull off I take that back. Punches through the whitewash and pulls off a nice invert maneuver. George Colomer.
Now, is it George or Jorge? I've been calling him Jorge. You've been calling him George.
Well, my Latino background says Jorge, but it is Jorge. I just say George for the Americans and anybody else, because a lot of people can't say Jorge, believe it or not.
Well, being from New Jersey and being a New York Yankees fans, I'm used to Jorge Posada, so all good, brother. All right, now you can see Jorge on the inside, paddling back out. You can see the rocks in the rock formation over there to the northeast. It's a bit of a cauldron in there with the current. I know yesterday our competitors were talking about how strong the current was. Meanwhile, out the back, here's the other Puerto Rican trialist in this heat, Milton Montalvo, taking off on the left, driving down the line. Manny.
Milton with a big roll on the outside. Milton and Jorge Colomer are the two Puerto Ricans, and they opted to go left during this heat. Dave Winchester and Novy are looking at the rights. The Puerto Ricans are looking left, and that was a nice air roll right there for our boy Milton Montalvo. Great move. Let's take another look at Michael Novy's earlier wave. Look how late he gets into this wave.
Michael Novy taking off super deep, gets the cover up, driving, comes out of the barrel, hits the roll, nice clean rotation on that, cuts it back, and then ducks out. We're still waiting for that. Michael Novy with a 6.65 on his last wave. We're waiting for some scores to drop, so I'll give you a situation update in a moment. Again, all 4 riders with wave exchange. Dave Winchester is going to score a 6.0 on his second wave, so he's got a 9.25 and a 6.0. Meanwhile, out in the water, waiting for scores to drop from Michael Novy, 5.85 on his last wave. There you can see Michael Novy from Australia, currently sitting 14th on the Grand Slam Series World Tour. He's kind of on the bubble. He's looking for a couple of solid results in this event and the season finale in Fronton. There on the beach, man. One of your Californian brothers, Joe Grodzen.
Yep, Californian brethren, Joe Grodzen. He is the wild card in this event. And guess what? He will be going against current world champ Amaury Laverne, Damien King, and Yeray Martinez from the Canary Islands. That's going to be the final heat of the day for the live broadcast. We are going to have the other divisions compete, and we will have the highlights later on today. But that will be the end of our broadcast today, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss any of the action. This is the Encanto Pro, Puerto Rico. Look at that. Waiting patiently. David Winchester with a beautiful background of Isabella.
Yeah, there you can see the water cam footage from our boy Seamus Makem. Seamus out there cruising around, swimming in the water, getting jet ski rides out there. What a life, brother.
Yeah, but you know what? He's physically fit. Seamus Makem, we always talk about him. It's just amazing how somebody so tall and skinny can have that much power, lugging around a 40-pound water case video camera, and he makes it look easy. This guy is making it look easy on the knee and in the prone division. Dave Winchester, definitely a contender, and he is also in the mix for a world title shot. That all comes up what happened with Jeff Hubbard, but Winnie, he's in there.
Yeah, Winnie up there in the men's pro on the world tour, also up there in the drop knee world tour rankings. Winnie a bit of a double threat in the world of bodyboarding.
Yeah, it's pretty good to see a lot of these guys do drop knee and prone at this level, and this guy is one of them. Amaury Laverne, probably one of the most fit bodyboarders in the world. In fact, he is your current world champion, Amaury Laverne. But sitting up in the yellow jersey, that is the crazy man, the hell man from the Canary Islands, Yeray Martinez. This guy is an animal at the infamous wave fronton, but Amaury Laverne, he is physically and mentally fit for any challenge. Amaury, always fit. He makes us look like, I don't know, super obese, overweight, out of shape. And
yeah, when I stand next to Amaury Laverne, I feel totally fat and out of shape. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But Amaury Laverne, the defending world champion.
He's a supreme being. Look at him.
This guy is a machine when it comes to training and performing out in the water.
And Amaury in the background, very flexible. Yeray Martinez in the front, pure muscle. This guy is ready to rock when the waves are pumping. In fact, he's almost on his way to becoming a police officer on the island of Gran Canaria, and I would not want to see him in a dark alley.
Yes, I don't want to be causing any offenses that brings Yeray Martinez knocking on my door.
Exactly. Well, there's a little lull in the action for now, but it looks like we do have some action. Here we go, dropping in Milton Montalvo. Nice roll right there. Oh,
whoa, Milton almost losing the rail. Comes through. Again, he's hitting the maneuvers, but he's having a little difficulty with the landings. I don't know if it's nerves or the conditions or his timing, but it seems like, that's twice now we've seen him hit a nice maneuver.
Look at this flexibility. Sorry to interrupt, but jeepers.
If I tried to do that, I would hurt myself.
I think if you tried to, can you do that?
No.
All right, big roll out the back for Jorge Colomer in the yellow jersey, looking for a 7.91 to take that first place spot away from Dave Winchester, who's pretty far ahead right now with the halfway point mark of the heat coming up. 30-minute heats, we're at 17:40 remaining.
And here's a replay of Jorge Colomer driving off the bottom, punching through the lip, coming through the lip like an alien, and completing the landing. I joke around about him looking like an alien on that, because if you've seen his chops, man, tour manager Terry McKenna even said, it looks like Planet of the Apes, brother.
He looks more like Wolverine.
Yeah, more like Wolverine. I'll go with that one.
Yeah, but
there you can see Jorge Colomer paddling back out. Keep in mind, this is his first World Tour main event. And
this
he's put
year,
a strong
this year.
showing.
Yeah, this year, this is his first time making it into the main event leaderboard rounds, and he is stoked. Well, he's turning around on this one. A little bit of smaller wave, but he probably sees something that we don't. And what is that going to do? That's just going to waste time.
That's going to waste time and burn energy on that one. He swung around just as he was paddling out, took off on that one, thought it was going to line up, didn't get much of anything. And,
I'm really surprised he did that. Either one, he knew he didn't have priority, so he's going to get to the outside and wait anyways, or he thought it was going to shape up into a good wave. Either way, I think with this much time on his hand and a comfortable 7.35 as one of his highest scoring waves, he should wait for that set wave, a bigger wave.
This is where patience pays off for the riders out in the water. You don't want to make mental errors. That we'll see if it comes back to hurt him. But as of right now, he's sitting second, so he's still looking to improve upon that 5.1, which is a decent mid-range score. But you want to choose carefully when you're out there.
Well, right now, Michael Novy in the white jersey, he's sitting good on a 6.65, and his second wave of 1.0. He needs an 8.61 on his next wave to take that first place spot away from Dave Winchester. So he's got a long. It's possible. We've seen it 10 points, and Winnie got a 9.25 in this heat so far. So it's possible. Winchester way ahead with a 9.25, 6.0. The rest of the guys have to pick it up.
I love the level of riding we're seeing here in round one of the leaderboard segment of the main event. We saw a 10.0 from Mitch Rollins in the last heat, and then here in this heat, Dave Winchester with a 9.25 on his first wave. You got to love seeing that kind of riding, that level of competition out in the water, and these kind of waves. I mean, we've got a decent-sized swell. It's going to get bigger through the contest window. We've got a shallow reef break, lots of current in the water, and these guys are going out and killing it.
If you have missed any of the action, not to worry. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/IBA World Tour, and that's where we're going to upload the heats and the highlight reels, and that's pretty cool to watch. You have to make sure you subscribe, because that's where you're going to get the latest and greatest. There it is, the youtube.com/IBA World Tour. When you subscribe, you will get an email telling you, hey, check it out. You are going to be one of the first ones to look at this video, and that is huge for a lot of you, and we thank you for being a subscriber.
Yes, you can't ask for much more. Instant access. As soon as it's up there, if you're a subscribed member, you've got an email in your email box telling you, hey, this is it. It's up. This is the latest and greatest from the tour. There you can see Pierre-Louis Costas in the competition area. All our top riders hanging out there, watching the action out in the water, anticipating their heats and what they've got to do in the next round. Again, we only have one round left in today's webcast for the Grand Slam Series leaderboard. There you see Guilherme Tamega taking a look at things.
I'm surprised he doesn't have the. I'm not surprised that he's wearing those Dre Beats headphones. He's a tech freak. He's an electronics freak. He has the latest and greatest of everything. And I love traveling with him because I always get to play with the new things that are out there. He always has them.
I enjoy cruising around with Tamega, not only because he's a really cool person and he's been very, accommodating when I've been down in Brazil, him and his friends showing me around, but also being out in the water with that kind of level of talent forces you to improve your riding. Meanwhile, talk about improved riding. Jorge Colomer out here hits a nice end maneuver there.
And right out the back, on his heels. In the left, that was Milton Montalvo on the left. And camera 3, I think he dropped his Sprite or Coors Light or something. So we got to make sure camera 3 is all right over there. But Milton, we will hopefully see what Milton did on that wave. Jorge Colomer now in second place. Milton, we're going to wait for his score to drop in third. Michael Novy in first. Dave Winchester, almost untouchable right now. Jorge needs a 7.91, Milton a 9.4, and Michael Novy needs an 8.61 to take that first place spot away from Winnie. Up and riding.
Milton Montalvo up and riding on this one. Nice little left, driving down the line looking for a section. Hits the air forward and not able to stick the landing.
Oh, man, that is like he timed it perfect with the wedge and the backwash. And he actually got some really good air. Look at this section just build up, and he times it perfect with the backwash and a little section that comes up. Perfect executed, but his landing, that was key, and he let that one go. He couldn't bring his board all the way around and loses the wave.
He had nice height on that, nice projection, solid rotation, but on the landing, he dug his nose. Never fun to submarine on a big move, Manny.
Yes.
Yeah. So, again, quick wave exchange out in the water from the Puerto Rican trialists Jorge Colomer and Milton Montalvo. Just to touch back on what I was saying before that quick exchange, Jorge Colomer we've literally watched him progress. He's been traveling more. He's been turning up at all the international events. He's been competing nationally here in Puerto Rico as well as the U.S. National Tour, and it's really starting to show. The experience, the maturity, the confidence has grown over the last couple of years, and it's really starting to pay off for him.
All right, Joe Grodson and Omri Laverne chatting it up before their heat. And I don't know if that's Joe Grodson's or Omri's way of getting into each other's heads, but definitely some mind games can be going on before the heat starts. And Yaray Martinez staying out of that one in the yellow jersey. In red, Omri Laverne, Joe Grodson in black.
I don't know. With the yoga stretching Omri was doing before, that's mind games enough because that guy is probably the most flexible guy on the tour.
Oh, for sure. I think he can actually detach his limbs and store them for later usage. All right, up and riding. Jorge Colomer, almost slides out, able to regain his rail and goes through the lip for a roll maneuver, and that's all she wrote. George, not a good wave at all. Again, he has to there's 10 minutes. There's no hurry. Just wait for that good wave, Jorge.
Yeah, there we saw Jorge sticking out his leg, kind of slamming on the brakes to keep from sliding out sideways. Little side slippy Sammy action, as we call it back in the East Coast.
Who's Sammy?
Sammy.
Check it out. Coming up next, the last heat of the first round of the main event leaderboard rounds. We're going to see Omri Laverne, Damien King, Yaray Martinez, and Joe Grodson. That's coming up next in about 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We got 10 minutes remaining in this heat number 7. Where are we at?
All right. Like Manny just said, we got about 10 minutes remaining. Dave Winchester solidly in the lead right now, 9.25 and 6.0 for his high scores. Puerto Rico's Jorge Colomer sitting in second with a 7.35 and a 5.1. Third place, the other Puerto Rican trialist in this heat, Milton Montalvo, has a 5.3 and 5.85 for his high scores. Michael Novy with a 6.65 and a 1.0. He came out strong, had a not-so-great secondary wave, and then it's been silent running ever since, Manny. Less than 10 minutes. If Michael wants to maximize the points he's going to get from this heat, he's got to make a move.
He's got about 9 minutes to go, and check it out. Speak of the devil, Michael Novy.
Michael Novy driving down the line on this one. Nice speed line, eyeing up the oncoming section. Hits a big, looked like he was going for an invert to a reverse. Going for an inverse. This is a newer move, but unable to complete the maneuver.
Yeah, it's an invert to reverse, inverse, and that maneuver is very, very difficult to pull off. You're combining two elements that are really, they butt heads because you stop the flow of momentum. You got to grab it again and start your spin again. It's a very technical move. Not a lot of people do it in competition because it's so difficult to pull off. But let's take another look. The inverse. Michael Novy in the white jersey, the Australian, goes for an air maneuver, an invert, and throws it midway into a reverse. Let's talk us through it.
Here you can see him driving down the line, gaining as much speed as possible, eyeing the section, goes up, hits, throws the invert, and then brings the board back under him and crosses his legs, tucks the board under him, goes for the air reverse. You're talking about combining two high-end technical maneuvers into one extremely difficult new school maneuver. This is a move that's really only started to be developed in the past year in the sport of bodyboarding. So you're seeing guys trying cutting-edge maneuvers on the international level.
Exactly, but a lot of guys do not do this particular maneuver if all the components aren't leading up to it. So let's take another look at another wave. This was Milton Montalvo's last wave, and little frothy, little whitewash wave, but he was able to put something together. Not a high-scoring wave. It only came in at a 5.0, but it is something. Right now he's sitting on a 5.3 and a 5.85 as his two top-scoring waves. Michael Novy, 6.65, needing an 8.61 for that first place spot, and it is Jorge Colomer in second place, needing a 7.91, but Dave Winchester pretty far ahead right now of his fellow competitors with 7 minutes remaining in this heat. So, again, a lot of things happening in this event. Potential world champion could be crowned at this event, and it all comes down to if Jeff Hubbard places this, if Jeff Hubbard places that, and we will get that to you as we progress through the event. So, again, 6 minutes, 47 seconds remaining. Heat number 7, heat number 8, standing by on the water's edge.
And here it looks like we have Milton Montalvo up and riding on this left, driving down the line, a little foamy on the inside section, and he's going to kick out. A little foamy on the inside from the previous set that closed things out, and Milton not able to get much of anything on that one.
Milton is pretty much hanging out on the lefts. If it's not obvious, I don't think I've seen him on a right yet, but he's totally favoring the lefts. Obviously, I'm going to guess his home break is a left, and he's actually putting together a nice heat.
Yes, for those of you not familiar with wave riding, whether you're talking about bodyboarding or surfing, most riders have a preference to whether it's lefts or rights. As a professional, you have to be proficient on both.
Yep.
But depending on where you grow up and what kind of waves you're riding, you develop a preference, kind of like a strong side and a weak side. And we're seeing Milton Montalvo focus heavily on those left-handers, and,
check this picture-in-picture.
Nice. We got a little picture-in-picture action going here.
There's Mike Stewart concentrating.
A nice picture of the competitors area. And me, Steve Action Jackson, my main man, Manny Vargas here, bringing you the action from middles here in Isabela, Puerto Rico. We've had a lot of action going down in round 1 here at the Grand Slam Series leaderboard round of the main event. The highlight being the perfect 10 on Mitch Rollins' air reverse. Meanwhile, out in the water, Dave Winchester, who has a 9.25 as one of his high scores, driving down the line, goes for the air reverse, gets it around, lands it clean, and then ducks out. So another solid wave from Dave Winchester.
Dave Winchester, a lot of the riders are going for these air reverses, and they're pulling them off pretty flawlessly. Here's another look at Dave Winchester's move. As you can see, he's holding a high line on the wave for speed and making sure his arms and his body are absorbing all the bouncing and the shock waves coming up off the wave, and setting the line, perfect timing, and then just cranks the air reverse spin right off the top, lands it nice and clean. So good wave right there for Dave Winchester. Few shout outs. Obviously, the Australians are watching. Out of the 4 shout outs I have handed to me, 3 are from Australia. So Port Macquarie is watching, Mick Parkhill, and Owlboy all tuning in from Australia. Thank you guys for tuning in. And also Diego Roberto from Brazil saying, hey, what's up, Manny V and Jackson? Posto Cinco misses you, Jackson. Look at this, live action.
Up and riding. Milton Montalvo takes a look and kicks out of that one. For those of you who missed it earlier, Heat 4, we had a no-show from Diego Cabrera of the Canary Islands. I've just been passed a note. If anyone knows the whereabouts of Diego Cabrera, please send a message on the website. He allegedly arrived last night, but missed his heat today. We're trying to find out where Diego Cabrera is. He's somewhere on the island, this island.
Unreal. Okay, the hunt is out for Diego. Check this replay out of the last wave right here during the competitors' view. Oh, nice George Colomer air on the left. Again, the Puerto Ricans preferring the left out here. George Colomer, Jorge Colomer, and Milton Montalvo are going left all heat long. And nice wave right there for Jorge Colomer.
I tell you what, I mentioned yesterday to Manny after we were done that Jorge was going to be a sentimental favorite of mine for this event. He's motivated by this. He was so stoked yesterday. Manny was down on the beach shooting photos. When he qualified for the main event, Jorge was dancing on the beach with all of his friends from the bodyboarding community here. And you know what? There was a spark to him. You know, I don't want to wax philosophical, but it's like it motivated him even more, you know, making to that point. And he's coming out here and he's backing it up. So 7.5 on that last wave. So, you know, that's he bettered his best score. Now he has a 7.35 and a 7.5 on that last wave. Jorge Colomer solidly in second place, counting down the final moments of this heat. he's getting a strong start here in the leaderboard rounds.
Well, as soon as Dave Winchester had that 9.25 under his belt, he never looked back. Everybody.